بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف. Last night we said that Salat is a kind of a spiritual tool, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Ista'inu bis-sabri was-salah. Whenever you need help, you need assistance, if there is something very difficult, very challenging, you can say your salat, and through salat ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you. And we said that there is no limit in what Allah can give you through your salat. So there is no limit in the power of this instrument. The only reason for our salat not working or working very little is ourselves. So I want to explain this more today. When it comes to, for example, a physical weapon, a gun, for example. A gun is made with certain specifications. For example, the reach of the bullet is fixed. If you are the best, for example, I don't know, soldier or worst of them, there is a limit in what this gun can do. You cannot do miracles with this. There's a limit in this. Or if you have a car, this car has some capacity. You cannot do miracles with this. Or a trailer, that's a capacity. So there is a limit. But when it comes to spiritual tools and weapons, the limit comes from the soul and the spirit of the person who is using that spiritual tool. For example, hadith says ad-du'a silahul mu'min. Dua is the weapon for mu'min. But how much this weapon can help you? What is the reach of this weapon? It's not fixed. Maybe for a person it doesn't even go 1 meter further. For one person it can reach heaven. For one person may not change anything. For another person may change his progeny. Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail, when they were raising the foundations of Kaaba, they did this beautiful dua. Rabbana arna manasikana waj'alna muslimayn lak wa min dhurriyyatina ummatan muslimatan lak. So they prayed for their progeny to be a submissive nation. Look at the ambition of Ibrahim. A person who has, after lots of difficulty, been given 2 sons, now he asks for a nation to come in his progeny who are submissive to God. not just individuals who are submissive. Is again the concept of, wilaya. Ummatan muslimatan, like not just Muslimin, scattered Muslimin. Ummatan muslimatan, like. وَابْعَثْ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ. So, dua of Ibrahim can reach hundreds of years later and can change the situation in the world. So, when it comes to spiritual tools, you should not limit your expectations. Don't say, my salat is not going to help me. My dua is not going to help me. My tawakkul is not going to help me. Tawakkul can change the whole situation in your favor. Tawakkul is not just something you say it as a kind of formality. I do tawakkul. No. Tawakkul is a tool. Tawakkul is a source of energy and strength. In some lectures on aqaid, when we reached tawakkul, I explained the story of Abdul Muttalib, that when Abraha with that army of elephants, they wanted to destroy Kaaba, there was no way to resist against them because they were very strong. And as you know, they stationed outside Mecca, and they also confiscated animals and cattle belonging to the people of Mecca, including the camels of Abdul Muttalib. Hazrat Abdul Muttalib went to see Abraha. This is very interesting. He doesn't say he is going to destroy Kaaba, kill everyone. Why, we should bother about animals, these human beings are going to be killed. No, he tries to do as much as possible. So he went to talk to Abraha, and there was again a sign of readiness to talk. And Abraha was very impressed by his appearance and the awe and charisma that Abdul Muttalib had. So he thought he has come to ask him to change the plan, not to attack. But to his surprise, Hazrat Abdul Muttalib only asked about the camels. He said, release my camels. So he said, I thought you have come to ask me not to attack Kaaba. You asked me such simple thing. He said, Ana Rabbul Ibil walil Bayt Rabbun. I am in charge of my camels. Although he was the patron of Kaaba, but he says he is in charge. I am just a servant. I am not here to negotiate about what Allah is in charge. And you know how Abraha was destroyed. So I was thinking, why, if Allah is Rabbul Bayt, as Abdul Muttalib said, which is true, why in the course of history several times Kaaba was destroyed? Maybe even today, if they want to destroy Kaaba, they can do it. Why? Kaaba is the same. Allah is the same. What is different? The difference is a person like Abdul Muttalib putting his trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A person who is in charge in a kind of formal sense, but he knows that he is not in charge. He doesn't think that he is controlling, he has, power to do these things. He has put his trust in Allah. So, if I think I am in charge of my life, my rizq, my business, my study, my family, tarbiyah of my children, I am responsible for example, protecting Islam, then Allah may say, okay, if you are responsible, Bismillah. Let's see what you do. And then you see disasters happen. If I say, I am not responsible, I am not in charge, you are in charge, please you take over from me, and I just want to help. I just want to be at your service. I do my best, but I know that I am not able to do anything. You are the sole, responsible. Then it can change. This is a little thing, to think about it, but it can change the reality of the world. It's amazing how much our thoughts can change the world, the reality on the ground. In the worldly, for example, battles, the only thing that works is that how much, for example, weapons you have, your troops on the ground, and your strategies, tactics, all these things. But when it comes to the spiritual battle, the thoughts of the people who are involved is very important. Do they put their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's not as if you are introducing a new army. In addition to the soldiers that you have on your ground, this tawakkul by itself is a source of energy and can totally change everything, can destroy Abraha. So when we say dua is salah of mu'min, you should not underestimate dua. You must be sure that if you do dua properly, you can change the situation. If you put your trust really in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can change. There is no limit. And the concept of tafwid al-amr, we said last night, maybe we talk about this. Do you know what is tafwid al-amr? We say, ufawwidu amri ila Allah. Or we have, for example, this saying in the beginning of Jamu al-Muqaddamat, the first book, which still they use it, but in the past especially was used in the Hose, was Jamu al-Muqaddamat. It had the basics of sarf and nahv, and also adab al-muta'allimin. So it says, أول العلم معرفة الجبار وآخر العلم تفويض الأمر إليه. The first thing that you have to learn is to know your Creator, and the last thing is to submit your affairs to God. So what is tafwid?
Tafwid is to totally, relinquish the control of any of one's affairs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes. So how does it work? So you delegate.
So tawakkul, for example, could be that you say, Allah, I want this, and you help me do this. But tafwid is, what's best for me, for example, and I leave the matter with you, for example.
Can you give further explanation, examples?
Maybe to surrender your cause or anything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or as well to put the full trust for that Allah will take care of it and everything will be system for it.
Yes.
And accepting whatever comes
Yeah, that is reza. To be pleased with what he does or decides.
I mean, trusting that
Tawakkul. Trusting is tawakkul.
even if the result is not what you like.
Yeah. Yeah, these are very close to each other. Yeah. Yes.
I think there is a limit to the things that you can achieve, and the control that you can have on a situation can be limited, especially our perception of one thing can be completely limited by our limited point of view, and asking Allah to guide us in making us see what's, you know, أرنا الحق حقا فاتبعه والباطل باطلا فاجتنبه. Maybe in that kind of direct hidayah, and so Allah actually shows the person the best way and gives him also the dedication to follow up with truth. So he, in a more practical kind of way, because he knows that he's limited and that he's not going to be able to recognize truth completely because of his limits.
So it's only in the understanding of what
and
is
obviously action that follows realization.
Yes. Yes.
Is it tafwid, it's like relying on Allah to fulfill the specific request, or like in general, that you're putting all your trust in Him to do that job, like the request?
So what is the difference between tafwid and tawakkul?
Tafwid, I think, is more specific.
I think tawakkul, there's some, in tawakkul we're still deciding part of the matter, and we're still not letting go as much, because we're saying that basically, oh Allah, I rely on you to have the trailer get me to the camp, for example, you know. But for example, tafwid would become something where you are not anymore deciding anything. It's all left in the open. So you're not in, there's no control. It's not like Allah is helping you. You're doing tawakkul, Allah helps you. Tafwid is something where you have almost no idea what you want exactly. And you just don't even know how it works. If you think about it rationally sometimes, how do you wrap your head around it? It could be this, oh Allah, it could be this. Maybe this is not tafwid because you still have two options. So if you have infinite options, then how do you, it's difficult.
Yes.
I think when we do tawakkul, we ask God to help us, but we ourselves do the things. But in tafwid, we ask God to set the things in a way that our stuff goes in the right direction. So.
Yes. Yes.
With tawakkul, we're supposed to also strive and struggle for what we want to achieve. But at the end, we're comfortable with whether it happens or not. We're okay with that because we know that we did our best part. And if it happens, then so be it, kind of thing.
So that is reza then. Yes.
Is it also related to the perspective of certainty? So when you do tawakkul, I'm certain towards that object I could achieve it, that I'm seeking the support of Allah, and as well, it is Allah who's going to sustain the matter. But when we are, that tafwid could grow most when we are uncertain, but we have certainty that God will solve the matter or will bring in the results needed.
Yeah. Yeah. So Allah knows, of course, the best, but it seems that tawakkul and tafwid are very close. But in tawakkul, the emphasis is on putting your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it seems as if you are still the runner, you know. But I put my trust in Allah. I don't put my trust in my talents, my skills, my money, my friends, my party, you know, publicity, propaganda. No, I put my trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but I am working. In tafwid, it seems that you have realized that it's too big for you to be in charge and to be the runner. You ask Allah to be the runner and you help him. So maybe this example helps. You know, sometimes when you drive, for example, if there is, snow, sometimes, for example, one tire is stuck, and you want to, for example, move, it doesn't move. So you ask your friend, please, push the car, and I also try to, for example, drive. With your help, I bring the car out. Sometimes you see, no, you have tried and you couldn't do anything. You say to your friend, please come and sit inside the car and I am going to push you. So it seems that tafwid is like telling to Allah, you come inside the car, you take the steer, and I am going to push. Not because my push is important, just to show that I am, concerned. It's not good to say to your friend, you bring it out and I, then say thank you. I have to do something. At least you have to do something. But you know that you were not able to solve this problem even with the push of that person. He has to be in charge. Okay? So you don't just want Allah's power, you want Allah's management and leadership and being in charge. So if you have this understanding, it can really change the situation. It's not something that you do it on the side of what you are doing just in order to grow your iman. It is one of the factors and one of the tools that you can use and can change the situation. So my hope is that by what I said last night and tonight, we realize that these are real things. These are not things that we just believe in and we respect them, but they cannot change the world. These are real sources of power that function in this world, and there is no limit in them. The only thing that limits them is our spirit. That's the only limit. الدعاء يرد القضاء المبرم الذي أبرم إبراما. Dua has such a power that can change even qadha of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So never underestimate dua, tawakkul, tafwid. There is unlimited, reserved energy there. You just need to release it. And imagine, if we release these energies, what can we do? So I hope, inshallah, Allah will enable us to appreciate these important tools that He has given us, especially salat and dua. And salat is, one type of dua. It's the best type of dua. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us and to actually take over from us our affairs and be in charge of all our affairs. أفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد فبقاه الله سيئات ما مكروا وحاق بآل فرعون سوء العذاب. الحمد لله رب العالمين.